Hey guys, Ashley Daniels here for another recap of the Real Housewives of New York. You'll never believe who gets married tonight. Tune in.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Gonna get mad. I can't believe we're doing this for dogs, but this is so good.
Spoiler!
It's such a great song. It always reminds me of that movie, Father of the Bride,
Yeah.
which I cry every time.
Favorite.
And I'm sure everybody who listens to our recap has seen that movie because that just like goes with like, I don't know. We all love, if you love The Real Housewives, you probably love that movie, so I'm sure you saw it. Hey guys, I'm Ashley Daniels here tonight for another recap of The Real Housewives of New York. You can tweet me at Ashley Daniels with my gorgeous, gorgeous hosts, starting with my right.
It's like an ego boost I needed.
Except Megan.
Hi, it's Megan Stecher, and I would love if you'd tweet me at Megan Stecher. It's MEGANSTECHER.
And this is Lyndsey here. You guys can tweet me at Lyndsey Wegner. That's LYNDSEYWEGNER.
Fern Ronay here. You can tweet me at Fern Ronay.
Sorry.
We were trying to let Lyndsey know she had a little bit of lipstick. We were so obvious.
Do the trick. Sorry, now we did the trick. We're good.
I don't even know what that was. You should just gone like this.
Oh, you know the lipstick trick.
I do that.
I do that too.
So that it comes out on your finger, not on your teeth. I did not do that before being on air.
I guess I forget to lick my fingers often. That's what I'll be doing. Yeah, I'll be like in the middle of the grocery store.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah.
Thanks, ladies.
Okay, so tonight's episode was. Listen, I'm going to be honest. It was a disappointment for me. I mean, I'm a huge fan of this show, and I wait every hump day to watch it. So when tonight's episode came on, I honestly was disappointed. How did you guys feel? Did you love it?
It was a little underwhelming again. Yes.
It kind of was like a little fun to see other things happening than big throwdown fights, but I think we're so addicted to them at this point. Every single episode has been building and building and building. So now it felt like nothing happened. But I did enjoy seeing Jules' storyline with the juice, but...
I thought you said with the Jews. I was like, what?
Well, yeah, that's all
juice.
she talks about is being Japanese and Jewish. So, yeah, the juice line, but...
Yeah, I thought
it
it
was
was
news.
just slow.
Yeah.
And like, you're like, nothing happened. It felt like other housewife shows that were like used to that every week.
I felt
so
like...
I'm not used to that with New York. I'm used to like being like, oh, another great episode.
Yeah.
And we kept saying, oh, okay, this next scene. Oh, this is going to be it.
You guys did. You optimistic fools.
Because there was nothing. There was no real excitement. Except, I guess the most exciting part for me was seeing Toast.
Yeah, we love
That
Toast
was honestly
here.
my exciting point.
We're spoiled now. We've seen, the best episodes already. So tonight was, I knew it wasn't gonna be amazing. I don't know which housewife it was. I think it may have been Ramona. Somebody said you should watch tonight's episode. It's a great episode, or it's a good episode. Just something that was just kind of like they had to say
Generic.
it. Yeah, it was very generic. And when I read that, I was like, oh no, it doesn't look like it's gonna be a very good episode tonight. Just the way it was tweeted. I don't know who it was. I'll go back, but it was one of the girls. Doesn't matter anyway. We're gonna recap it. We still love them, and I mean, I would rather it be a dull episode than no episode at all. So I'm like, yes, at least we still have it. I don't know. Tonight was interesting to see Bethany and her health issues, and if anything, I'm happy that it came out because maybe it will help somebody else who's going through that, and I'm sure a lot of people that maybe don't know what's going on with them that unfortunately are dealing with the same thing. Maybe they were going to skip going to the doctors, and now they're going to be like, oh, I should go to the doctor. So maybe this could be an episode, if anything, that helps people. That's a good thing. Good point.
It's a good way to look at it, actually. Way to be positive about
Silver lining.
Silver lining.
That is a good point because she was on GMA this morning talking about it, and so people who don't watch the show but saw GMA, you're right.
Exactly.
Same thing on her radio show today. So.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Any updates on her and Wendy, by the way? Do we hear anything?
No,
'Cause I
and
googled it. I didn't see
I
anything
checked
either.
Wendy's show.
Me too,
I was
nothing.
away for the whole weekend. I didn't see Wendy respond at all the day after she said that or Monday. So
Damn, the best way to get rid of that type of stuff is not to talk about it.
yeah, exactly.
Smart. Okay. So Dorinda and Jules, we see them meeting uptown. This is after Carole goes for her dog picture photo shoot. And then we see Dorinda and Jules meeting uptown, discussing Sonja's not coming and discussing how much they love Sonja. Dorinda says she spoke to Tom's ex. This was interesting. What do you guys think about that, Lyndsey? You want to elaborate on this?
Okay, so she spoke to Tom's ex and said that Tom and Ramona only went out once. Now, we've all kind of been talking about this and how he's dated Ramona. We found out that he's been sleeping with Sonja up until recently. But now it's been mentioned that he only went on one date with Ramona, and Ramona was saying it was 7. And I've been saying from the beginning that Ramona's lying about this, or making it up, or embellishing it, and we all know that clearly now is very true. I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't like the fact that he could potentially be calling his ex,
right,
saying he loves her.
Know what's going on with his love life? That's what's fishy to me.
Very good question.
That's what's fishy to me.
And he could be saying, they could have gone out on 7 dates and he could have said to the ex, it was no big deal, I don't like her, it was 1 date. So then poor Ramona could have been telling the truth for once.
True. Good point.
And now she looks like a fool.
That's rare. We all know, and then it got mentioned like later on that Ramona just glows and blurts things out. So it very easily could have just been something that she just said, and now she's got to follow that.
Right.
I went on 7 dates. I said it. I went on it. And we met at McDonald's one day in line, and that was one of our dates. Like, you know, like whoever said that, but.
Yeah, but the bigger problem is, why does he still talk to his ex?
Right.
Correct.
That's weird.
Or
that never gets cleared up for us via Dorinda. So it's like, well, that's still fishy. Is this the ex that got the gold bracelet that he calls out?
That's what I'm assuming.
Yes. So awkward.
We just need 5 minutes with him sitting right in this couch so we can just get a gauge on who he is, because if he's that really jolly type of guy that's just like friendly with everyone and doesn't have a problem with anyone, maybe we could be like, okay, he's so friendly, like he's still friends with his ex, and I don't know, he's just one of those guys that doesn't have any confrontation. Like I gotta get a feel for his personality, because just hearing someone that buys stuff for their ex and is friends with their ex, automatically we all think like douchebag, but maybe he's a really just nice guy that doesn't have a problem with anyone. I don't know. We need to get a little more info on it.
Tom should come in.
Why do we think he hasn't been on camera?
I mean,
he was one.
Well, I mean, we haven't I've never seen a sit-down interview with him, or I've never got to sit down with him myself. I just feel like,
but just that one dinner. Why haven't we seen more of him?
Maybe he doesn't want to. I mean, I think it's smart of him, because it seems like he's a lot of skeletons in the closet, and I think being on camera would lend itself to those skeletons coming right out. So.
We were talking about this earlier. Why certain people go. We were talking about earlier, because Real Housewives of New Jersey's coming back. And we were talking about if it was the case that Teresa, the twins' mother, actually did sleep with the husband. If that really did happen, which whatever, why would you ever go on camera in the first place and release that? So we were just. I'm sure anybody who watches New York Housewives watches Jersey, so. You guys know I'm talking about. So I'm starting to get all excited for it. But I was just trying to figure out, like, why do people go on the air if they have some info and some stuff that they don't want to get?
I mean, look, no one's perfect, and I feel like everybody probably has something embarrassing they want to hide. But it's so weird how it all comes out. It's so weird to me how people who have the worst secrets go on these shows. But it's such good TV, so I can't not watch. So sorry. Sorry.
That's TV around. So Ramona and Sonja, they're back. Lucy and Ethel are back. Or Lucy and Lucy. We don't want to insult anybody. And they're just chilling, having a good time, having some laughs. And Ramona, the apologizer again, tries to help someone else learn to apologize. In this case, Sonja. She goes as far as actually trying to show her what it would be like by kind of getting a feel for Bethany's demeanor, standing up and being like, okay, I'll pretend I'm Bethany and you try to apologize to me. Did we think that yes, Lyndsey's doing, do we think that she had a good gauge on Bethany's character and demeanor?
Yes.
Yeah?
I thought it was
we didn't think
so
a little Ramona
funny.
Crazy Eyes was in there too, though?
I think she's such a character of herself to begin with that it's hard for her to imitate anybody else. So it was like a little awkward. It was like a little awkward, but it was pretty good for Ramona.
I thought the vocals, she really had Bethany's cadence down. Yeah, I thought it was very funny.
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
it was a good impression.
It was really funny.
Made Ramona likable.
Yeah.
And it's really funny to have Ramona coaching anyone on apologizing.
She's really been doing that a lot this season, which is hilarious.
If we could have a mentor out of all the housewives, if all of us could pick one person that would become our mentor, who would it be? Starting with you, Fern.
Carol.
Okay.
I kind of...
Megan, we have Lyndsey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I said Carol so quickly.
You said Carol too?
I jumped on the Carol train immediately.
Megan's so excited. Poor Lindsay's like, not me.
No,
I actually cut Fern off.
I want to say Carol because I think I want to adopt her like chill vibes and I love her style. But she's so relaxed of a person. I don't know if she would view herself as a teacher and teach me much. Like I'd have to be like following her around asking so many questions and I think she'd find it annoying and be like, do we just get some coffee? You know, she's so chill.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think that I would maybe get the most from Bethany because she assaults you with information you don't even want.
Good point.
I would learn the most from Bethany.
High five, girl.
Or Sonja.
I am with you,
I would love
Bethany.
like a Sonja internship.
Me too. I would love to be her intern.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like Carol, you would just have to observe and learn from her, but Bethany would be like, this is what you're doing wrong.
If I could pick a housewife altogether, I'd pick Jill Zarin.
What do you mean all together?
Like, pick from the old housewives, I would choose Jill.
Oh, gee.
Really? Why?
Really?
Because I think she's got the kids, she's got the husband she's been with now for forever. You know, she's got a successful business. Her daughter is doing great. Like, I just feel like her life is on track and she's like, you know what, the housewives, New York, no more. It's fine. I'm good without it. She's not sitting here complaining. She's doing well on her own. Why not?
It's weird to revisit season 1 because she was like the Bethany of season 1. Like she would verbally assault everyone with like, no, this is how it is. And to see Bethany sit back and be surprised by someone talking so fast and taking control of a situation so fast. It's like, what? Jill? Really? You forget how powerful Jill was. So good one. Yeah.
I say Bethany too, but I'm already so neurotic. I feel like if I had Bethany as my mentor, I don't think I would be able to function.
We'd all be off the rails.
We would be insane. We'd be a lot smarter though. Okay. So Carol and Bethany meet for drinks and they discuss the circumstance from the previous week where Bethany met up with LuAnn and she says, you know, she just wouldn't let me get a word in. And then they're discussing Bethany's health problems. Carol says she likes Sonja when she doesn't drink and she would like to see her on the trip to Mexico. I liked seeing Carol actually speak up a little bit and not just kind of go with the flow. I really liked that part, but just because it's so rare that she does that, where she's not just kind of but not causing anything different, not trying to say something different, just kind of.
But don't you think Bethany's comment about Sonja and LuAnn having hoe bag moments?
I missed that.
I wrote that down because I was like, hoe bag moments.
What was she saying? She doesn't want them both on the trip because they have hoe bag moments?
Because they have hoe bag moments.
Isn't that why we watch the show? Like, Bethany, we watch you have your meltdowns and yell at everyone. We also watch because they have hoe bag moments. But I watch for these vacations where they're
so you can
bags.
see who they're hooking up with and whatnot.
And I don't mind it. And I'm not slut shaming like Bethany is. Like at this point it's slut shaming. She keeps claiming it's not, but like it is.
Right. Is that the reason you don't want them to go? She
No,
doesn't want them
not.
to go because she doesn't like LuAnn.
Exactly.
And she's mad at Sonja.
And
she can't get over it.
Breaking news, did you guys see the page 6 that Sonja's restaurant got it? First of all, it's going to be a whole restaurant called Tipsy Girl, and it's going to be a chain of them. And the awning is up in one location in New York City.
Okay, I Googled RHONY all day and then went to the news portion. That didn't come up once, so that's insane.
I think this came out on page 6 last week after...
Is that credible?
The episode aired.
Are we really? Is that super credible? Because I also saw something she was like,
was the
Ramona
photo.
Can't cut a cake. It was like page 6.
A random everyday person's photo on Instagram. Like, oh my God, look at this awning.
I'll be in New York actually next week for I think a day or two. I'm going to go out if it's there.
Exciting. Let me keep looking on my phone. I saved it and I'll tell you where it was.
I love you. You always have the best gossip. Okay. So in the meantime, we have Jules and Michael meeting about the juice. And so make sure to get that out because not that she's Jewish.
Oh, here we go. 45 West 8th Street in New York. I don't know what neighborhood that is, but where's the photo?
God.
I mean, it's literally. Remember how she said it was like?
So it's a blue awning and says Tipsy Girl, and
how she said it was going to be restaurants.
I don't think they can see that. We'll tweet it right now. Can you tweet it? So Jules and Michael are meeting up. and they're meeting up with Larry Prager, who is Jules' best friend's husband, big food guy. And apparently behind Michael's back, she's been creating this juice line passed down from generation to generation. She's really proud of herself. I was wondering if this is how she's so slim, because she seems like she does this a lot, where she drinks these drinks or something. She was like, you could, one of them mentioned you could drink all day.
Cleanser.
Cleanser, yeah. Cleanser. I don't mean that's, if you're doing that a lot, I mean, I would think that you probably are like
Gonna lose weight.
yeah,
Absolutely.
probably cleaning out your system.
It's like, yeah, like a juice cleanse.
Yeah, I mean, if that's not going to sell you on losing a few pounds, I don't know what will. Like, you see her drinking that all day. It's like,
But
wow, if it works for her.
She said she finally feels like she would be accomplished about this, though, and that it'd be something that he would be impressed with and show him that she's capable and smart.
That was so sad.
So it
Like,
sounds
this
like
is how you impress your husband?
Exactly. He should already be proud of you. You should already be confident in how he.
sounds like she feels like he's dismissive of her.
Yeah.
Aw.
Didn't he say, like, this is like cheating? He mentioned the word cheating.
He made a joke about it.
Yeah.
Because it was behind his back.
I mean,
Shocked
crazy.
that she did this all without his knowledge, which is weird.
I don't know. That's so weird to me that she did do this without his knowledge. But at the same time, it's not like she was going door to door trying to get. Maybe she was, but it seems almost like she had a connection.
Yeah.
She had an in. She's on the show. She used that as leverage, and still good for her. At least she did it. But it's not like it was like years and years. I would think where he just happened to not see all of this work. Maybe he's never around. I don't know. You guys let me know what you whoever's listening in and watching, because I'm curious if you think this is something that was easily hidden, or if it was something where it was like she's like door to door all day, like try my drink, try this out, like.
It sounds like she probably sent them the recipes and they made it and they were testing them, and then they probably sent her designs for the bottle
Right.
and she approved them. It probably wasn't like she was flying different places to
Right.
test her juices.
Well, I looked up this company,
How do you say it? Modern alchemy?
Alchemy. I looked it up when she was new on the show, and it's like the face of the company is her and that man's wife. Like, I guess maybe that was part of the stipulation that like the two of them were the face of the company and like splitting the profits and the whole thing, even though it's her like family recipe. Like, this guy's bankrolling everything.
Yes.
So it's probably part of the
investing in it.
contract. Like, well, my wife's 50-50 with you, or we're 50-50 with you. So
She'll probably be a housewife
Crazy.
next season.
good point.
I think her name was Chloe. Someone mentioned the name Chloe during.
Oh, okay.
I just can't believe that now we're seeing obviously the divorce, and today the news came out, or it was basically that Jules, there was cops around the apartment, and the lawyer for Michael came out and said something about how the cops were called by Jules a couple times, and that this is all a ploy to kind of get her own place, keep the place for herself, and how there was no cheating actually on his end, and a lot of things going back and forth by his lawyer, and just it's a sticky, really bad situation. And it's interesting that she mentions on tonight's episode how she would love to have her own money. She doesn't have to ask him for money.
Yeah.
She can take care of herself, and it was almost like it was just eerie. It's just these last 2 weeks are like foreshadowing. Yeah. I don't know. Do you guys feel like it was foreshadowing a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder how it is for her
when
to watch
she
it.
said, like, it's one thing in the interviews and things have actually already happened and you don't know how much later they're taping it, but to his face she said, you might ask for half of my shit one day. And I was like, oh boy. So there's so much tension already. Just to know that they're already getting divorced, but they said that before. Oh, it's just like, too much.
Do you think she'll be back on the season next season now, because this is all happening?
Could be. Before I would have said absolutely not.
Yeah. And last week I had this theory that it was all fake so she could sell her juices, but reading everything that was in the post, it seems messy. It seems real and messy, which is really sad.
Yeah.
And I heard that like people say all kinds of terrible things about it, like their lawyers coax them to do it so that they get more of, more money or more property or more kids, more time with their kids, but none of it's true. The lawyers just coax you into doing it. I don't know how true that is, but I would believe it.
That's so like emotionally damaging.
I know,
Yeah.
because the kids are in the middle.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Horrible. So then we see Bethany and Dorinda at Home Goods, and I love Home Goods. I don't know if you
Me too. I got excited.
They were shopping
It's like a
there.
Target. You go there and you can never leave.
That was a good home.
Don't go there
goods.
broke. It's so
What's a
depressing.
good one?
All right? Like that pizza slicer.
Everything. It's just that was a really nice Home Goods, by the way. That's a really
the
nice
best
Home
one
Goods.
I've ever seen.
And Dorinda's renovating her apartment or cleaning it out. Bethany's helping her, and they're walking by. You can see Bethany's really weak and not looking so good. And they're talking about LuAnn and the situation with her, kind of interrupting and inviting herself. And now Bethany has to uninvite someone who was never invited in the first place. And she says LuAnn lives in her own myth. And I don't know. I just found this portion, we already kind of know. Yeah, it's repetitive.
The only thing that stuck to me was Bethany saying, like, I have to disinvite her now. Which at the end of last week, I didn't realize she was going to go ahead and say, like, I'm going to disinvite LuAnn now.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of the only thing I got out of it.
Yeah, we didn't really know if she was going to go or not after she invited herself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've seen Bethany tell Carole the same thing, and now Dorinda the same thing, and it's like she's going around and making the rounds saying, so this is what LuAnn did, so this is what I have to do now. Mm-hmm. So it feels repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody get really uncomfortable when you saw Bethany get weaker and weaker and carrying more and more things and pushing more and more things? Cart. And then she had like the big stair thing, and then she had the cart, and she's like, oh, I just was like, can someone help her? I mean, somebody, anybody?
And then they just dropped everything, didn't buy anything, and rushed to the car. It was like, oh, God. And I'm like, no, the linens! You had everything locked out!
She had it on hold.
Dorinda's like, oh, hold, this is my whole new guest room. Hold this for me. I'll be back in an hour.
Yeah, I felt really
Dorinda
bad
is such a good friend. I feel like if it was LuAnn, she would be like, all right, let me buy this stuff. Like, see you later. Dorinda's such a good friend.
But she just dropped everything.
And she mentioned at some point, having a significant other or a mother, somebody that would go and cancel that trip on behalf of Bethany, and how she knows that no one's going to go canceling that trip for her on behalf of her. And I think Dorinda knew, like, Bethany really, as wealthy as she is and as much as she has, she really doesn't have somebody just watching over her, taking care of her. It's even a dad. Like, it's really sad. And her daughter's so young, obviously. So I was really, really happy to see Dorinda there. And also, as you guys know, when you go to the doctor, sometimes you don't hear everything. It was a really good point she made, that Dorinda got to listen to everything. And,
Yeah, sometimes it's like too much information, a lot of words you've never heard. So
scary.
Yeah.
So then we have Jules' house, and she's ordering from some website.
Priv.
Some blowouts and makeup. Yeah, Priv.
It's an app, right, where you schedule when they come or
like
something?
Glam Squad?
I felt like it was scheduled in another way, and they just pretended like they did the up close to the phone where she clicked on it because it was like promotion, but really like Priv. It's not like these people showed up and then they had cameras on them and they had to like sign a release. They already knew they were going to Jules' house, I think. Sorry to spoil it, but I just try to get the real lowdown on everything.
It's true.
And basically, they talk about the dogs and her vagina issue. A lot of vagina issues tonight.
How ridiculous! A one little cut.
I can't.
Oh my God.
And it turned into like needing a catheter.
And the pictures.
And then she showed Sonja.
Just don't understand.
I had a friend.
Looked at it.
I had a friend have a vaginal swelling issue, and she had never had anything wrong in that region before. So I come home from being at class in college, I walk in the door, I just walk up the stairs like from class, no big deal, and she's standing at the top of the stairs hysterically crying, and she rips down her pants in front of me and is like, what's wrong with me? I need to go to the doctor. And I mean, I'll never forget it. It's so horrifying. I don't know
You
why.
are a good friend.
I don't know why anybody would take a picture of that.
It's like a train wreck. You're like,
of course, Sonja was into it, of course.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't faze her at all.
no, really didn't.
Sonja was probably thinking, in 1989, I had an incident kind of similar.
I just can't. I can't. The amount of vagina issues tonight. But they're talking about discussing how to apologize to Bethany, and the dogs are playing, and that was, I think. And then also we want to obviously mention that Bethany had to go to the doctors, and she left really quickly, unless I think Megan mentioned that. Yeah. But then Bethany and Dorinda are back at Bethany's, and they're discussing what the issue was. And I guess Bethany lost 10% of her blood. Her cervix was enlarged to the point where you'd have a child. Like, is that how big it was, they said? Something like childbearing size?
They have to remove the fibroids because it basically, it's just swelling her uterus.
Oh, I feel so bad. It's like a scary, I mean, she's got those assistants that are around too, so it's like, but that's a scary feeling to know you have to maybe get a hysterectomy. That's an option. And Dorinda really did step up and help her, and I could tell it really, really meant a lot to her. I was surprised Carole didn't know later on in the night, because I feel like Bethany tells Carole everything, and Carole was...
And would have called to tell her.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless because she knew she had the event going on for the wedding. Bethany waited.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes I feel like, oh, my friend has like a really fancy dinner. I'm not going to call and ruin their dinner.
Or she was just so weak and tired, like she didn't think about telling somebody anything. She's like, can you just let everybody know I'm going to go to sleep? I was wondering what that was too a while back. I remember on her Snapchats, she was like laying down, really not feeling well. Flowers were everywhere. So, and then we have the dog wedding. Amanda Hearst's dog Finn got married to the Fat Jew's dog. Yes, this time it is Jewish dog. Fat Jewish or Fat Jews? Jews.
The Fat Jewish.
The Fat Jewish dog.
Toast.
Got
Is
married
the
to
dad.
Amanda Hearst's dog Finn. Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay. And there was a Marchesa gown that was worn.
Gorgeous.
Prettier dress than we've ever had in our lives. And the wedding was beautiful.
Beautiful.
I can't believe I watched a dog wedding tonight. I'm not really sure how to.
I mean, that
I'm glad
wedding's
it was charity, obviously.
nicer
Mine
than
was-
like my wedding's ever gonna be.
It was nicer than my wedding. I'm married.
I'm just glad money was
fine,
raised for this. Obviously, this charity
$10,000.
event.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Hopefully more is.
It looked like it would cost so much more.
We were saying it looked like it cost $10,000, but one of
like
you
it
guys
cost
mentioned it probably was all.
$100,000.
Because they probably didn't feed people, right? Unless it was
Yeah.
just like hors d'oeuvres and past like prosecco or something.
The place looked really nice. I missed where
Gorgeous. I don't know. It was
I
gorgeous.
forget too.
I don't know if they said,
it was. Yeah.
Everything was beautiful.
Yeah.
Sonia's dog didn't come because Sonia said that social anxiety and gets all like Ramona. It was really funny. And did you see that?
We don't have it.
Yeah, we don't have
Oh, I
that.
have it.
Oh, she's got it. We've got it.
And we've got a special
Thank you.
delivery.
So it was interesting. Once again, how many times today was it? Over 3 times that Jules mentioned she was Asian. She was, I'm so Asian. I have to take so many
I have to
photos.
take so many photos.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so Asian.
And she said it's so Asian about the juice thing earlier.
And then she also had Jewish guilt over something.
and Jewish
Yes.
guilt, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They should have a little timer in the corner.
know.
You know what? Yes. On Watch What Happens Live, don't you think in a certain,
bet you.
like by a certain episode, he'll do like a little counter of how many times she says.
Yes.
Or maybe it'll be like a vignette at the reunion.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know how everybody gets their own little like
Yes.
2-minute funny
She'll
thing?
definitely get
Hers
that.
will be about her being Jewish and
Oh,
Asian.
that'll be all they have to talk about anyway. So
Yep. It was interesting. Dorinda told everybody that the trip was canceled, and Ramona's reaction was something about a bikini.
She was packed and she had outfits picked out already, so she was kind of upset about this.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think
As
that
her
was?
friend is like suffering.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about Dorinda telling everybody?
Well, she told Bethany she was going to tell everybody.
I think Bethany probably said tell everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like, well, she even mentioned, she was like, you know, like, I'll let her tell you the details, but obviously it didn't go so well today. And she wanted everybody to know that that's why it was canceled. Probably so she didn't have to also, Bethany wouldn't have to call each person and redo the whole story.
But if they're good friends, they're going to call anyway, and you're going to have to retell the story,
Exactly.
no matter what.
Exactly.
well, we know Bethany had to spend 3 days flat on her back recovering from her myectomy. But too bad she didn't get to do it on a Casper mattress. Guys, think about it being the middle of the night and you wake up drenched in sweat, which I often do. It's super hot here right now in LA. So you crank up the AC to try to keep cool, but honestly, we all cannot afford that. So get rid of that heat trapping mattress and upgrade to a Casper. You'll be sleeping cool as the other side of the pillow every night. Casper was invented with 2 high-tech foams that guarantee you sleep cool and comfortable with all the support you need. In fact, Time magazine named the Casper mattress one of the best inventions of 2015. Their new sheets and pillow are just as comfortable. Together, they were designed to create the perfect sleep environment so you stay cool and balanced all night. Your Casper mattress ships free. What? Free in a box so small you won't believe it holds a mattress, making it so simple to get from your front door to your bedroom. And that's the hardest part, right? Best of all, you can try it in your home for 100 nights risk-free. Guys, that's longer than like 3 months.
I know,
right?
that's insane.
Perfect. If you don't love it, they'll pick it up and refund everything. Well, you can't lose there.
No, you really can't.
Discover why you'll love Casper mattresses. Try it in your home for 100 nights with free shipping and returns. Go to casper.com/AfterBuzz and use code AfterBuzzTV for $50 towards the purchase of your mattress. That's casper.com/AfterBuzz, and the code word is AfterBuzzTV. You'll get $50 towards the purchase of your mattress.
I'll tell you, my AC broke last week, and I would have loved that. 'cause
Oh
I
my
was,
gosh,
It was
how
the
did you
heat
survive?
wave. It was literally torture. It was
horrible.
we had the career seminar the next day here, and I didn't sleep the whole night before because I was so drenched in sweat, so hot. It was hotter in my apartment than it was outside.
Yeah.
It was torture. I was literally thought I couldn't even drive my car. I felt drunk the next day because I didn't sleep and I was so hot. So I would have really liked that
It's been
mattress.
so hot everywhere. I feel like
torture.
the past few weeks.
But I'll tell you regarding the situation tonight with Bethany and the trip. I wonder if there's going to be another trip now because they're going to have to kind of make up for the trip because that's a big part of a lot of the fights.
And
that's
this
where
way,
all this stuff happens.
LuAnn and Sonja can go.
Yes.
I feel like one of them will be the
Good
one
point.
to plan it so that there's no way that anyone can be left out.
Good prediction.
Good.
There was a lot in the news,
prediction.
and I don't think it was. I hate to quote things that aren't or talk about things that aren't, in my opinion, super legit. Unless it's on TMZ, that I'm like, okay, I know Harvey did his homework. That guy does not say anything unless he has facts. But I was reading some stuff that Bethany was, some producers were not happy with the way Bethany's acting and how she's being on set or whatever. And I don't know. Let me know if you guys saw any of that too, because I read it and I was like, I feel like this is so fabricated and so fake. She's the OG. She runs that in a good way, and thanks to her, everything makes sense every time she's on the show. So, but I'd like to know what you guys think of that. If you did read anything like that, tweet us and let us know. There are a lot of links if you just search Bethany's name. I just think people make things up sometimes. Because I don't know that's how the show could go on without her, honestly. But
Can we also discuss the fact that Ramona cut the cake?
Oh, yeah.
I can't. And like the protesting
So
about
rude.
and showing everyone all the clothes she had ready to go for the trip. Like, maybe talk about that on the side with Sonja in front of everyone. You just looked so insensitive.
who stuck their finger in cake at Heather Dubrow's thing?
I cannot.
Was it Gretchen's friend? Gretchen's friend. Gretchen's friend.
remember
The
the
drunk
screaming.
girl. The brunette drunk girl. Gretchen brought a friend. Remember, she was drunk.
Was it Gretchen's
I don't
friend?
At Heather
remember.
yes, it was at Heather Dubrow. Let us know, guys. Please tweet us and let us know.
Okay.
It was at Heather Dubrow's and Terry Dubrow's
Anniversary.
I just remember the yelling about it.
It was the girl with the brown hair, and she was like wasted, and I think Gretchen took her, and she was like, she put her face. So there's been a lot of Real
It's like a
Housewives
real
cake
Brandy, real
things.
Brandy Glanville move.
Yeah, an interesting move on Ramona's end, but at least Ramona used a knife, so gotta give her credit for that, right?
I mean, at a $10,000 event, and she cuts the cake herself. It's
There
like-
was no other cuts in that cake.
There was
looked.
one, but maybe she had done it.
I
Maybe they
think
were only
she
showing
had
the
done
second
it.
slice. And then someone's like, your friend is cutting the cake to Carole.
Who was
Carole
gonna
knew
cut
she
it
had
though?
to
The
run over
dog?
there.
I mean, who are we waiting for the groom and the bride to cut the cake?
Maybe they were going to cut it for a photo op for
Yes.
the Vanity Fair story. I wonder if this ever went Vanity Fair. Let me Google it.
It was on page 6 where she cut the cake. I
Oh
retweeted
my
someone's tweet about it. All right.
gosh.
Anyway, it was an interesting episode. You know,
Can't win them all.
Not everyone
win
can be
all.
as eventful as the first and all of the other ones that we've seen. So
Yeah.
we'll take the low key one without so much drama.
exactly. So, want to get into some predictions for next week?
Sure.
All right.
There's our sound effect.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, who's first? I missed the previews. I don't know what to say.
Well,
we all missed, yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, Bravo froze on us, so we're gonna actually really predict tonight without even having
Yeah.
seen any of the upcoming scenes.
Okay, I predict more Bethany health stuff. I think she'll share a little bit more and be more. The shock will have worn off, and she'll be really upset over it.
Okay. I think that next week it's going to be, like Lyndsey had said, it's going to be a new vacation that's now going to happen.
Perfect.
And I think LuAnn and Sonja are going to be the ones who create that. And they're going to be in charge of who gets invited.
That's my kind of.
And they're going to invite everybody because they both, they both want to talk to Bethany. Well, more so Sonja. LuAnn, I don't think she really cares. But
And we didn't see LuAnn at all this episode.
interesting.
So I think we're going to get a little bit more LuAnn-centric episode, which is probably why they had that special tonight airing after Housewives that was like before the Housewives, LuAnn de Lesseps. So I feel like we're going to get a little bit more of LuAnn next week. Agree. They're going to start talking about planning another vacation for when Bethany is better so that they can all go and do this fun trip together. And I hope we get to see a little bit more about Jules and her juice. venture.
There you go.
I think next week's going to be the episode where Bethany's crying that she needs a living will.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see that next week. And I think Ramona's still going to be upset that they're not going to Mexico. She bought a bathing suit and she's so clueless. She's going to say it right to Bethany.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Yeah. I just think she's, I don't think she means it. She just says what's on her mind. She doesn't know.
She doesn't realize it's so insensitive.
Yeah, she doesn't. Anyway, so thank you for tuning in. Let us know what you thought of the episode. You can tweet us. You can comment on YouTube. I'm Ashley Daniels. You can find me on Twitter. Periscope is Ashley Daniels. Twitter's Ashley Daniels. Instagram is Miss Ashley Daniels. Where can we find you?
Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. It's all Megan Stecher, MEGANSTECHER.
And this is Lyndsey here. You guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Lyndsey Wegner. That's LYNDSEYWEGNER. Or my blog, lyndseyWegner.blogspot.com. Thank you for the gorgeous flowers, Ashley.
Oh, you're welcome.
Happy birthday, Lyndsey.
Happy birthday, Lyndsey.
Thanks, guys.
Fern Ronay, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Fern Ronay.
Would you believe Lyndsey's 75, guys? She looks incredible.
I celebrated my
over 24.
40-something anniversary of turning 28. So,
Bye, guys. Thanks. See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.